There is an old saying, the road to hell is paved by good intentions. No other two characters in recent memory come to mind with me when this is said. The priest who achieved heaven, Pucci, and the mad titan Thanos. Both seeked a better universe for themselves and those around them, and ended up with one of the most broken abilities within their respective stories. Even the attempts of the heroes trying to stop them only seem to aid them in their quest before eventually winning. And then having it all undone later, but we can ignore that part. So who wins out of these two villains in a fight? Now, I will be using Thanos from the MCU, because comics Thanos shouldn't even be in the same conversation as Pucci for a debate, and I'll be splitting it up into 3 rounds, much like I did for my Madra vs Thanos video I made a while ago. Round 1 will consist of Whitesnake Pucci versus Endgame Thanos, Round 2 will be Sea Moon Pucci versus Titan Battle Thanos, and Round 3 will be Made in Heaven Pucci versus Thanos for the entire Infinity Gauntlet. If you're going to enjoy this video, then make sure to like, subscribe. Shout out once again to Jobo for helping a little bit with this video, and yeah, let's just get on with it. Going over Whitesnake Pucci first, and it should be noted that he is an utter genius. He was capable of outsmarting the likes of JoJo's, who was more experienced than when he was in Part 3 when he outsmarted Dio. Dio was able to outsmart Joseph to some extent, who could outsmart the Pillar Men. Yeah, I know, it's a lot of outsmarting. The Pillar Men were stated to have IQs of 400 as well, which makes it even more impressive. Attack potency wise, and Pucci should be around town to town level plus, due to being able to fight the likes of Stone Free, who could deflect meteors which would require power equal to 61 kilotons of TNT, or town level. You can scale up to the large town level due to the fact that he was capable of taking down Weather Report, who is implied capable of creating the world's most powerful hurricane, which would be equal to 310 kilotons of TNT, or large town level. Durability wise, and Pucci's durability should actually be higher than his attack potency. This is due to the fact that he should scale to himself when he had Sea Moon, where he took a punch from Star Platinum. Star Platinum was stated to be the strongest stand, meaning that he would scale above the likes of the Sun, who could light up an entire desert and possibly a country, with calculations placing this between 6.5 megatons of TNT and 2.23 gigatons of TNT, which ranges between small city to large mountain level. As for speed, and Pucci is bare minimum faster than light. This is due to him being able to outspeed Diver Down, who is capable of hitting reflections of snails out of the sky. These snails are actually light beams, which people only perceive to be snails because of subliminal messaging, which has been calced out to 2.5 times faster than light. He might actually scale to massively faster than light due to being able to tag Star Platinum, who should scale higher than Silver Chariot. Silver Chariot was capable of tagging Hanged Man, who moves through beams of light, requiring him to have moved between 365 times faster than light to 1,200 times faster than light. The only issue with this is that, Pucci, explicitly had to plan around Jotaro and had to catch him off guard. Meanwhile, Jotaro was focusing on saving Jolene rather than dodging Pucci, so you could argue it's not a direct speed feat. Abilities wise, and Pucci does have a lot. Across his 3 versions, he has a lot of abilities that carry through, but he also does have some exclusive abilities as well. His base abilities involve extrasensory perception, aura, multiple selves, summoning of his stand, flight within effective range, passive fate manipulation, as fate just always seems to be on his side for some reason, and genius intellect. His stands all have the same core abilities of invisibility, non-physical interaction, selective intangibility, aura, size manipulation, impossible invulnerability, as the only other way that's known to harm a stand in JoJo is through another stand themselves. Whitesnake individually has afterimage creation, stealth mastery, surface scaling and adhesive manipulation, being able to change its body consistency to that of a goop, sticking it to walls, acid manipulation, sleep manipulation, dream manipulation, illusion creation, soul manipulation, limited death manipulation, mind manipulation, clairvoyance, biological manipulation, sense manipulation, sound manipulation, and power bestowal. Weaknesses wise, Pucci doesn't really have that much in the way of weaknesses besides the fact that any damage dealt to Whitesnake will reflect back on him and vice versa. As for Thanos, he is pretty busted. Strength-wise, he would easily be able to beat up the likes of Hulk and Awakened Thor, who does have some large planet-to-star level scaling. Firstly, he was able to make a crater 100 times bigger than the Grand Canyon, requiring power equal to 116.4 yotatons of TNT. He should also scale higher than the likes of the Statesman, who is capable of passing through a collapsing neutron star, which was stated in the novels to be a magnetar, which can generate power up to 10 billion suns, which would be equal to 90.82 yotatons of TNT. Hela could destroy Mjolnir with her bare hands, which was capable of surviving a star exploding in its creation, and Thor could take hits from Hela. Thor could also take the power or the heat of a star. Granted, taking the heat of a star is very different than taking a power of a star, but this star was installed with a Dyson sphere. A Dyson sphere is a mega structure built to harvest the full energy potential of a star, quenching its nuclear core, which places it between 2.3 negatons of TNT to 2.4 fold, depending on how much you want to highball it. There's also some black hole feats as well, but I know it's quite contentious and we don't really need it here. Speed-wise, Thanos should be faster than light to massively faster than light. This is due to him being able to react to Iron Man's repulsor blasters and Captain Marvel's photon blasts, both of which are either lasers or photons which travel at the speed of light. Thor could also deflect a beam from the Destroyer, which was confirmed a laser. Thanos should also scale to the likes of Doctor Strange, who scales to the Ancient One, who perceives lightning in slow motion, which is calculated to 3.23 times faster than light. And in the prequel novel to the Captain Marvel movie, Captain Marvel's photon blasts were capable of reaching a hilltop in a nanosecond, which was 100 meters away or more, which was calculated out to 333 times faster than light. Abilities wise, Thanos has longevity, as he lived for 1,000 years, low regeneration, genius intellect, self-sustenance, combat mastery, weapons mastery, enhanced senses, weapons control, being able to summon his double-bladed sword to him, resistance to radiation and madness manipulation, just being able to wield Stormbreaker, which causes that to happen to you, master manipulation and deconstruction, just being able to hold the Power Stone, and limited sleep and mind manipulation. He also has the likes of his armor, his double-bladed sword, and he doesn't really have much of a weakness. I think it's safe to say that if Pucci and Thanos were to come into physical blows, then Thanos would very easily one-shot Pucci. Even if we take Pucci at his highest and Thanos at his lowest, Thanos would be 40.7 quadrillion times more powerful than Pucci's max durability. So why is this even a debate? Because this has to come down to speed and abilities. Pucci does have some hacks that can very easily one-shot Thanos through many different means of ignoring conventional durability. Firstly, he could phase into Thanos' organs and destroy them, or he could also just remove Thanos' soul and memories instantly. Even with Thanos being able to resist the likes of Mind Snake's mind control and sleep manipulation, is not so much of an issue, especially with Thanos not even being able to see White Snake and not being able to really harm it either. Basically, it being an invisible wall we would have to overcome. Yeah, he is a genius, and you could probably argue you could figure out how to, but Pucci's also able to outsmart people with Thanos' intellect, so you could argue that, he could just get around that, especially with his self-mastery, but it all comes down to who can do it first. Both Thanos and Pucci have baseline faster than light feats to some massively faster than light scaling as well. Even with Thanos' low end, he is marginally faster than low end Pucci, and high end Thanos would be a little bit slower than low to high end Pucci. This is not too much for either of them to get blitzed though. High-end Thanos is more plausible than high-end Pucci in my opinion to win. So with this, Thanos would just blitz and one-shot Pucci before he could beat him. But if you think that Pucci can get to massively faster than light, then he would be one doing the blitzing. Even if he is only a bit faster than Thanos, his speed is very important, especially with White Snake being unable to be hurt or seen, and Thanos, just getting one-shot by it. Sea-Moon Pucci isn't all too different from White Snake Pucci in many respects. Realistically, he should be as strong, as fast, and as durable. The main difference is that Sea-Moon Pucci doesn't have the same abilities as he does that are specific to White Snake, but should still have the basic abilities that a stand has, such as invisibility and all that. Sea-Moon's main ability is the ability to manipulate gravity for everyone but Pucci in a large radius, as Pucci becomes the new centre of gravity. He also has levitation, allowing himself to propel off substances and float in the air, minor time acceleration passively, age acceleration, limited resistance to time stop, being able to see and think within JoJo's time stop, and durability negation, as Sea-Moon could turn people inside out by punching them. Granted, it's not guaranteed to kill someone if it, say, punches their arm, but hitting them in the chest or the head could be pretty fatal. It's also harder for people to hit Sea-Moon and Pucci due to the gravity as well, but not impossible. In fact, the potency of Sea-Moon's gravity has actually been calculated to 1.75 gigatons of TNT, or large mountain level. This shouldn't exactly scale to his punching power, but more his potency of gravity manipulation. By the time that Thanos pulls up on Titan, he has 4 of the 6 Infinity Stones, which basically means that he should be the same as his endgame counterpart in terms of stats, but without his sword, and also just with a lot more hacks. Thanos' new arsenal consists of the Space Stone, the Power Stone, the Reality Stone, and the Soul Stone. The Space Stone grants Thanos spatial manipulation, portal creation, teleportation, can turn people intangible, fusionism, being able to fuse the Hulkbuster into a rock, and possible physics manipulation, gravity manipulation, and BFR, being able to banish the Red Skull to Vormir. The Power Stone gives Thanos statistics amplification, vibration manipulation, energy projection, and energy manipulation, along with energy barriers. The Reality Stone allows Thanos to have reality warping, energy manipulation and projection, transmutation, power nullification, being able to nullify the mirror dimension, attack reflection, biological manipulation, deforming Mantis, earth manipulation, air manipulation, fire manipulation, and absorption, force field creation, illusion creation, pseudo black hole creation, petrification, invisibility, telekinesis, environmental destruction, regeneration, as Infinity Ultron is able to recreate his arm with the Reality Stone, for example. Dimensional travel with the Space and Reality Stone, telekinesis, life and death manipulation with the Soul Stone, and the Soul Stone also grants them the likes of soul manipulation, soul stealing, minimal illusion resistance, and animal manipulation. The Soul Stone, when combined with all the other stones, can also control all life in the universe as well. Pocket reality manipulation, necromancy as well, being able to conjure the representation of people who are dead, and also enables Thanos to summon Gamora's spirit to talk to her as well. All of a sudden, Thanos has way more hacks and abilities. Even with Pucci's gravity manipulation, Thanos can also manipulate gravity as well, and can attack Pucci without even touching him by warping reality or transmutation, which Pucci just does not have a resistance to. The only thing Pucci really has an answer for is Thanos' invisibility, but that's really it. Thanos could seal Pucci's soul away as another win con, but of course it comes back down to speed, as Pucci's durability negation is basically making it the same debate as it was in the first round. However, his form of durability negation isn't as reliable, as it has to hit Thanos in a certain place in order to actually one-shot him, and Thanos' Reality Stone could heal him from wounds related to something like his arm. Although, to be fair, Seaman could invert the Infinity Gauntlet, rendering all of Thanos' new abilities useless, so really it comes down to speed again, where either Pucci blitzes Endure next Thanos or removing his abilities, or Thanos would just speed blitz Pucci, one-shotting him either through reality warping, sealing, transmutation, or just by punching him. Pucci, when he achieves Heaven, reaches a new level of power. Firstly, he's able to one-shot JoJo, meaning that his attack potency should far exceed his durability now due to Star Platinum being able to take punches from the world, and JoJo will also be able to take punches from the world. Abilities-wise, he should have the same as he has in the last round, where, he shouldn't have the likes of Seaman's abilities or Whitesnake's abilities, but should have the same core abilities. He would have access to new abilities, though, such as acrobatics, after-image creation, time acceleration to a far greater extent, accelerating time to the entire universe resets, which also grants him universal plus to low multiversal hacks and attack potency as well. Fate manipulation, his destiny will repeat itself until Pucci's the only, exception, basically. Statistics amplification, limited power bestowal, extremely limited resistance to time stop, as you can prepare and plan around those with that ability. He also has knives, but of course the most iconic thing about Made in Heaven is its speed. It's stated to have infinite speed and also to be immeasurably fast, and there are arguments for both infinite and immeasurable speed, but it won't matter too much when we go into this fight. As for Thanos, he gets access to the Time Stone and the Mind Stone on top of all of his previous abilities combined, along with the combined abilities the Infinity Gauntlet gives. The Time Stone allows Thanos to manipulate time, being able to rewind it, speed up and stop time, precognition, being able to look into the future, clairvoyance, and healing. The Mind Stone grants Thanos power bestowal, telepathy, dream manipulation, and mind manipulation, being able to control minds, and purification. With the full gauntlet, Thanos has the abilities of deconstruction and matter manipulation, when he snaps his fingers, turning everyone to dust. He also has resurrection as well. With the full gauntlet, with the snap of his fingers, he can turn the entire universe to atoms and create a new one, also giving him universal plus to low multiversal hacks like Pucci as well. This outcome of this matchup is really, really funky. Almost everything is in Thanos' favour, and I mean, not only could he one-shot Pucci through many different means as I brought up, but also snapping his fingers is just enough to kill him. The Time Stone is also able to counter Made in Heaven perfectly as well. The only thing that could stop Made in Heaven's time acceleration was Jotaro stopping time, but of course, the thing that got Jotaro in the end was the fact he could only stop time for 5 seconds. Meanwhile, Thanos could stop time indefinitely and even rewind it as well, meaning that if it was equal speed or equal stats, Thanos would easily win with absolutely no difficulty. But then we have Pucci's speed. With Pucci being literally infinitely faster than Thanos and having his great intellect, you could just remove Thanos' gauntlet and just blitz him, or let the universal reset deal with Thanos, as Thanos would not be able to withstand that. I've seen some people argue that Thanos will be able to kill Pucci before time accelerates for him too much, before, be able to get hit. But the issue with this argument is that even if you don't think that Pucci has infinite to immeasurable speed, despite the statements, he was able to completely blitz Star Platinum earlier on in the time acceleration, making him faster than Thanos objectively. I would say that Made in Heaven Pucci would beat Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, but with equal stats, Thanos is murdering Pucci with absolutely no problems. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.